what I'm going to say will split opinion massively. Are they still occasionally prone to a 4 or 5 out of 10? Maybe. I haven't seen enough of Harry.
We could assume that if Johnny Sexton's fit, he will be the starting out half against the All Blacks, which is the crucial one of these 3 games, yes?
Brian O'Driscoll on Off the Ball.
With Vodafone, official sponsors of the Irish rugby team. Team of us. Everyone in.
And I guess all eyes were on, as always, the out halves. It is Johnny Sexton, Joey Carberry and Harry Byrne, which means there's no place really for the 3 pretenders of the last couple of years, Ross Byrne, Billy Burns and Jack Carty. That's the headline news from this squad. What's the main takeaway for you, Brian?
I'm not surprised. I really am surprised for, what I'm going to say will split opinion massively. Jack Carty has played well at the weekend for sure. Played reasonably well. Played okay in their loss to Dragons a couple of weeks ago. But I feel as though he's not in the reckoning with Andy Farrell, and he's going to have to be the standout number 10 in Ireland. Many people argue he's the second best 10 in Ireland on current form, and maybe they're right. But I just feel as though he's done the working backwards. Andy Farrell has from the World Cup in 2 years' time. I just don't think he sees Jack Carty as part of a squad. Can he play his way into it? I don't know. I think a lot will have to go his way, but he's earmarked Harry Byrne, obviously. There's been a couple of false starts with him. Joey Carberry was heir to the throne, and it just hasn't quite transpired and picked up for him since his long layoff. And ultimately, the captain, Johnny Sexton, is still our best number 10. So I'm not.
Jeez, I really don't want to spend another 20 minutes discussing Johnny Sexton.
We won't do Johnny. We'll pass by him.
So we could assume that if Johnny Sexton's fit, he will be the starting out half against the All Blacks, which is the crucial one of these 3 games, yes?
You would think so, because you got to pick your best players. I just don't know if you can. The other thing as well, Joey Carberry has played against the All Blacks a couple of times and won. So it's not a case that, you got to give him that, that sort of depth of quality opposition. He's played in those games before. I just feel that from a confidence building point of view and from a team perspective, that you will need your best players and your best 15 against the All Blacks. And that's why I think Johnny will be picked. And then the other 2 will be probably will start in each of the other 2 tests and then might get a half. So if you look at Joey starting against Japan, you might see Harry Byrne getting half an hour, or vice versa in the Argentina game. Whereas with Johnny Sexton, what you're getting, pick him, keep him fresh for the All Black game, and then you got to select him over the course of the year in important games and pick and choose certain pinpointers over the course of the season that you feel are going to be relevant to enhancing the team and keeping Johnny Sexton happy and fresh.
It doesn't feel as though the conversation around the out half spot has progressed since 2 years out from the last World Cup, where Johnny Sexton was the main man and we thought Joey Carberry was the emerging force. And then there was a rotation of players. Andy Farrell must be as frustrated as anybody when he looks at the chances that Ross Byrne has had, Billy Burns has had, and Jack Carty has had, that none of them have grabbed that opportunity. Between the 3 of them, they have 30 caps.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating because all you can do is choose from the players that present themselves. And you have to remember the likes of Kieran Frawley's breaking through late. I know he's probably down as a 12, but he played 10 too. Harry Byrne, like I said, it's been a stuttery start. A year ago, lots of us were championing him, and it just hasn't quite panned out for him. Ben Healy's kind of slipped up on the inside lane on Joey Carberry, and all of a sudden there were question marks as to whether Joey was legitimized having a space in this squad. But I think on the basis of pure talent and pure potential over the next couple of years, I think he's picked the 3 best out halves that I feel will consistently be the best producers of the game he wants to produce. Does it mean that they're, particularly in Joey and Harry's case, are they still occasionally prone to a 4 or 5 out of 10? Maybe. I haven't seen enough of Harry. Joey, I don't know if he's 4 or 5, but he just hasn't hit that lofty heights that he had before his serious injury. And he must be very frustrated. But we know it's not a like for like number 10 either. He's not Johnny Sexton. He's got to have his own style and his own way too. And it's going to be very difficult for him to be able to properly do that until Johnny Sexton is actually a thing of the past. So there's a legacy piece, when your captain is the incumbent out half, and it can't be an easy place for those guys coming through. But I think with regard to definitely Ross Byrne and Billy Burns, they've had their opportunities and it hasn't quite worked out for them. And Jack Carty, many will say, got a raw deal because one bad performance or one disappointing performance against Japan has really scarred the memories of this coaching ticket, and they're afraid to go back there again.